So when a team goes through struggles, they'll blame things on someone. Often it's the hitting coach, if not the manager. The Braves are struggling. They're more towards the bottom than the top. And the move they made was essentially firing third base coach Matt Tuiasosopo from his job. He's been reassigned. And Fredi González replaces him. Fredi González was the former manager of the Braves. They let him go. Brian Snitker took over as the interim manager. And how did that go?
I was there. I know exactly how it went.
How'd it
I
go?
was on the team the year that Snit took over, and Freddie got fired. We were in Pittsburgh. I think I still have the voicemail from Freddie when he called me and told me he was let go. It was like early in the morning. It was like 8 o'clock in the morning. He called me. We flew in from somewhere the night before, and we played a game, lost, and we were terrible. It was 16. That was the year we started 0-9. It wasn't Freddie's fault. We just weren't very good.
But then Snitker takes over.
Snitker takes over, wins the World Series, been there forever. But now they're bringing Freddie back, which, listen, I'm happy for Freddie because he got a raw deal in Baltimore. He got fired in Baltimore after being the bench coach. It's not his fault. They couldn't pitch again.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then he was, what was he, umpire? He was doing something with the umpires. I don't know what he was. He told me he was doing something with the umpires.
Wasn't he coaching at a school too?
Yeah, because he lives in Philly.
I talked to him. He came to one of our scrimmage games before the season started, so 2 months ago. Yeah, and he said he lives right outside of where I'm at right now, like 25 minutes. And he was helping at a school. He was helping at different stuff, but he was doing stuff with the umpires. I'm like, you're evaluating umpires? I was like, they're letting you do that? He's like, it's not really evaluating umpires, but it's just kind of something to stay in the game. He was blindsided by the Orioles thing. That was tough. But I think him and Snit are boys, no?
Yeah.
I mean, they know each other. It was just weird. It was a weird thing when Freddie got fired because Snit took over, right? And they literally, I remember they were like, well, we didn't know who to hire to take over because they wanted Terry Pendleton, I think, to take over. But Terry said no. And so they went to Snit and said, Snit said, I'll only do it if Terry is is my bench coach. I think TP became the bench coach. Eddie Perez went to first base. I think everyone else stayed the same. Carlos Tosca, the bench coach, got fired with Freddie because they were considered to be like this. They were buddies.
So if Terry Pendleton takes the job, he was number one. Snit never gets the job.
I think now. I don't know exactly.
Okay.
How it happened exactly. I remember hearing that they said they had a hard time because I thought they said they wanted TP to take over, but they were just thinking TP would take over for that year. And then Snit came in and took over, and then they signed him to a long-term deal, and then he's been there ever since.
Yeah, it worked out really well.
But I remember Snit said he would not take the job unless TP was his bench coach, and TP said okay.
Wow. Okay, so here's the reason for the firing. I mean, whatever. You want to call it reassignment to a minor league infield coordinator job. I mean, you got fired from the third base coach job.
Which you never hear of. The third base coach is usually last on the firing list.
So then let me know if this tracks. Alex Anthopoulos, who's usually really straightforward and good on interviews, said, quote, there's been some aggressive sends, and that's part of the job. But the results from my standpoint, and in talking to Brian Snitker, he understood and he ultimately agreed. I felt like we could do better.
How did you feel like you could do better? Like, were you evaluating other third base coaches? Does this bring Freddie out to the field, and is he worried? Like, is he worried that guys are being sent? Like, okay, well, the other guy got fired. I don't want to send him. Fortunately, Freddie's way more experienced than that, and Freddie probably isn't worried about losing his job. But I don't know. I feel like there's something that we don't know. Because Matt was he was a guy over there, and I haven't watched enough Braves games to say there's too many aggressive sends. But I feel like maybe this is not his fault and more of hey, the team's not winning, so who else could we fire?
It doesn't make sense to me. The reason they said what they said doesn't make any sense. I mean, they're having a hard time scoring runs, so he's being aggressive. Wave him home, Wendell Kim. Joey Cora waved home everybody when he was our third base coach. I mean, we had Jeff Cox, who didn't even know if he was sending you sometimes. He was so great. He was laughing and talking to you, but he was like, do you go? Do you stay? I don't know what to do. I don't know. No.
You just decided yourself?
Yeah, pretty much. But no, I mean, listen, the third base coach doesn't have to make a lot of decisions other than when to send guys. I mean, most of the time, as a base runner, you should know whether you go first or third. You have a pretty good idea. You should. Now, not all guys do, but most of the time you have an idea when you're going to score and when you're not. You should know your own speed, know the outfielders, know your third base coach, but whatever.
So I have two questions.
Well, actually, before you say that, Scott, like the other thing too, what AJ said, he kind of glazed over. They're struggling to score runs. They're also not a lineup that has 7 all-stars in it right now. You're going to be more aggressive because you're like, as a third base coach, you're like, I don't know if the next guy can get it done. Like, you're watching the game. You're watching how guys are going to face, the pitcher that's out on the mound. Okay, maybe there's a bad right-on-right matchup that's coming up. The guy that's coming up to hit, we're going to send him here. We're going to maybe take more of a chance. If you're just a team that mashes, you don't ever get anybody thrown out at the plate. And you're super, super passive at third base because it's like, well, the next guy's probably going to get a hit because we rake.
Although the Yankees fired Phil Nevin, remember? Phil Nevin took the fall that one year. He sent a guy from third. It was a bang. They weren't scoring any runs. He sent a guy aggressively. I forget who it was. Maybe Gleyber Torres. Got thrown out of the plate. They fired him the next offseason. He was like the scapegoat. They're like, oh, we didn't win because Phil Nevin sent the guy, and it wasn't Phil. I agreed with the send. It was in the playoffs, and I don't know, they lost to somebody, obviously. But I mean, it's not the third base coach's fault. Most third base coaches have another role on the team, whatever that role is: infield, outfield, camaraderie guy. I mean, whatever you want to call it. But I mean, third base coach gives signs that the manager gives them. Puts it on, and he has to listen. They have to make split-second decisions, but most of them are pretty good at it.
Todd Father and I are from Jersey, so we're used to, I got a guy. But sometimes that just means when I'm looking for a car, I go to Car Gurus.
Yeah, and I think honestly the best part about this is communication, which we love here in Jersey where we're from. And this is a place where you can get a car. The price drops all the time, and they let you know when your car is ready and when you can get it. The communication part is the best thing for me, Scott.
Agreed. In-depth vehicle reviews. Car Gurus will connect you with trusted dealerships when you're ready, ensuring a transparent and hassle-free buying process with over 4 million listings. They have more car listings than any other major online automotive marketplace in the U.S., so you can find the best deal. Buy or sell your next car today with Car Gurus at cargurus.com. Go to cargurus.com to make sure your big deal is the best deal. That's cargurus.com. cargurus.com. So is this a team foreseeing something?
They're just trying something.
Spark themselves.
I think they're just trying something, send a wake-up call, whatever. I don't know.
They're 27 and 31.
In this article, though, I find interesting. Snit said, what did Snit say? That, he saw it and Snit agreed. What's Snit going to say? No? Snit's in a contract here, let's not forget. Snit wants to get that one more year to get to 50 in the organization. 50 years. Like, he's not going to argue with Alec. What can he say? Like, no, let's not. Because here's the thing. I know managers for a fact that I've played for and end up losing their job say, I'm not going. Because they'll come to him and say, listen, if you don't fire this person, then you're going with them. And I know managers have said, I'm gone. And I've seen it happen. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I guarantee you Snit wasn't like, they went to him and said, hey, we're going to fire Tuiasosopo, Matt, but so what's Snit going to say? No, like, don't do that. And they're going to be like, okay, well, we'll get rid of you and we'll bring Fredi González back to finish the rest of the year as the manager. Like, what's he going to say? Of course he agrees. He has to. He's his free agent year.
He also doesn't have the final say. Like, he's the manager.
Exactly.
He has bosses. He has, 3 bosses?
He used to be the manager. Listen, the manager used to be the boss.
Mm-hmm.
And the manager pretty much ran every organization. Now, the GM was there, but the manager ultimately made the decision who played, who didn't play, who was on his team, who wasn't on his team. And the GM brought players in and they would talk about it. The roles are reversed now. It's the GM and the president of baseball. They make all the decisions now. And the manager just has to kind of say, okay, and make them work a lot of times. Now, the ones that are good at it, they work with their front office people. The ones that aren't are the ones that you see always complaining and fighting and not working.
Right. Braves are 27 and 31. They're a half game worse than the Nationals right now. They're 10 games away from the Phillies and the Mets. It seems like a tall task for them to try and climb back into the division.
Wild card,
though. Okay.
If they get in and are healthy, do you want to face Sale, Strider, Schwellenbach?
Acuna's looking good.
I mean, do you want to face that lineup in a 3-game wild card series?
Nope.
And you get Sale, Strider, Schwellenbach?
They just don't want to get too off the mark right now.
Yeah.
Also, they started 0-7. They haven't gone on a great run.
Well, they got back to 500, which was
and then they fell back a little. But I don't know. I'm not that worried. But okay, it's an interesting story.
Hey, everybody. Be sure to like and subscribe for more content.
We're back here every weekday, all year long, so do not miss an episode.
The videos are coming in all day. Here's another video you might enjoy.
Baseball the way it should be covered.